Let me ask you something a little uncomfortable. What if the biggest problems in your bedroom have nothing to do with chemistry, compatibility, or desire, but with habits you don't even realize are quietly destroying your intimacy? Couples today are more connected than ever, and yet more disconnected in the moments that matter most. And the bedroom is where that silent distance shows up first. Stay with me, because the 5 things I'm about to share might completely change the way you understand closeness and maybe even save your relationship. The first mistake is assuming that one partner should always be the one who initiates intimacy. People don't talk about this enough, but when only one person always starts, they eventually stop wanting to. Not because desire is gone, but because being the designated initiator becomes a psychological burden. Inside their mind, it sounds like, if I don't start, nothing will happen. Or, I'm always the one risking rejection. Meanwhile, the person who never initiates often thinks, I don't want to be pushy. Or, they always start anyway. Both people believe they're protecting each other emotionally, but what they're really doing is creating silent resentment. The way out is simple. Share the responsibility. A gentle touch, a look, a moment of closeness when initiation becomes mutual. Desire becomes mutual too. The second habit to let go of is pushing for intimacy when your partner says no. It's not always loud or forceful. Sometimes it's just a disappointed sigh, a guilt trip, or a shift in tone. But the body remembers these small violations. The nervous system learns, saying no isn't safe, or I need to give in to avoid conflict. Nothing kills desire faster than pressure. Intimacy cannot exist where someone doesn't feel emotionally safe. The healthier response to no is emotional maturity. Thank you for being honest. When a no doesn't create distance or tension, the body actually learns to trust again, and trust naturally leads to desire. Another thing that silently destroys connection is staying quiet about what doesn't feel good. So many people would rather endure discomfort or disappointment than risk saying, hey, this isn't working for me. But the truth is simple. Your partner cannot fix what they don't know is wrong. Silence feels easier in the moment, but it always turns into resentment. The brain starts connecting intimacy with tension or fear of underperforming. And over time, desire fades not because something is broken, but because your emotional experience doesn't feel safe or fulfilling. Communicating gently, with reassurance and kindness, is not a mood killer. It's the foundation of real pleasure. Another habit couples need to stop is treating every misfire a misdirection, a delayed orgasm, finishing too fast, feeling distracted as a personal failure. These moments are normal. They're human. But many people spiral instantly thinking, I'm not enough, or something is wrong with me. That panic triggers the stress response, and stress shuts down the body completely. Sex is as psychological as it is physical, and the mind has far more influence than people realize. When something doesn't go perfectly, the best thing to do is stay calm, slow down, kiss, laugh a little, and stay close. Turning the moment into tenderness instead of tension builds confidence and emotional safety is what actually makes intimacy better over time. And finally, one of the most damaging habits is faking orgasm just to get it over with. Most people don't fake it to deceive, they do it to protect their partner's feelings or avoid awkwardness. But faking pleasure destroys the very intimacy they're trying to preserve. When you pretend, you're giving your partner the wrong map to your body. Over time, your mind becomes exhausted from acting, and your body stops responding with genuine excitement. Instead of pretending, try gently guiding. I'm enjoying this, but I need something a little different. Or, slow down, try this. Someone who truly cares about you wants to know how to make you feel good. Honesty is not a threat to intimacy, it's the doorway to better intimacy. The deeper truth behind all of this is that great sex has very little to do with technique and everything to do with psychology, communication, and emotional safety. When you let go of these 5 habits, you don't just improve your intimate life, you deepen your bond. You build trust. You create a space where desire feels natural, not forced. And you turn intimacy into something you both look forward to instead of something you perform. If this resonated with you, stay with me. There's so much more to decode together.